What were you doing driving it without insurance?
Well, to be honest, I didn't really know.
Unsafe and out of control.
Out of nowhere, I heard a big bang. I just swerved. Left, right, I'm holding the wheel. I hit the mailboxes. I swerved to the left again.
And an unseen victim is mourned.
Your car hit her dog and killed her dog.
This is Judge Judy. 18-year-old Kevin Rodriguez is suing Lacey Migliori for damages to his car after he hit her unleashed dog.
Judge, this is case number 150 on the calendar in the matter of Rodriguez versus Migliori. Parties have been sworn in. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Thanks, Bird. Mr. Rodriguez, it is your claim that the defendant's dog, while out of her control, caused an accident with your car, which damaged your car. Your car hit the defendant's dog and killed the defendant's dog. But then it is your claim that after that impact, you lost control of the car, causing damage to the car because you crashed into something else. The defendant says that while she did not see this incident, is that correct?
That's correct.
That the dog was on their fence, lost control of your car. You crashed through the fence in the house where the dog was. I don't know if it's your house or not, but it was, the dog was in a fenced area. Just a second.
Okay.
That's what she's claiming.
Yes.
That the dog was killed on property. Is it your property or someone else's?
We were displaced from the creek fire, and we were staying with my Nana at my Nana's house.
Okay. Is that your grandmother?
Yes.
So it as ostensibly, for all intents and purposes, at her house. She says that the dog was killed on the property where she was staying, and it was fenced property, and your car broke through the fence and killed her dog. That's your statement, although you didn't see the incident happen.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. This incident happened on what date, Mr. Rodriguez?
On September 20th, 2020.
What time?
It was around 6 p.m.
6 p.m., and you live in California?
Yes.
So is it dusk at that time?
Yeah, I could say it was dusk.
Tell me what happened, sir.
Okay, so on September 20th, I was driving to my friend's house.
Look at me. Don't look at...
Don't look at none of this?
Don't look at your papers.
Okay.
I want you to look at me and tell me what happened so I could look in your eyes.
Okay. So on September 20th, 2020, I was going to a friend 18 minutes away from my friend's house. So there's a street on Sanger that you have to go on. It's called Academy.
Could you look at me?
Yeah. I was going on Academy, and you have to turn right on Shields to go to my friend's house. I turn right on Shields. I see a school pass by, so I think, in my head, go a little faster, after we pass the school.
There's a school.
There's a...
Look at me. Don't look down. Look up. You saw a school.
Yes.
Okay. And this was 6 o'clock, so did you just say you decided to go faster?
Well, because I passed the school, so the speed limit it's the regular speed limit, right? After you pass the school.
Okay, so you had slowed down?
Yeah, when it was at the school, I slowed down because I saw the 25, right, speed limit. I passed by, I saw that it was 55. I speeded up.
Look at me. Don't look down.
Sorry, I'm
sorry. Look at me.
I speeded up, and then I was passing a couple houses, and then right at when I got to the defendant's house, out of nowhere, I was just driving, I was 55 miles per hour. I was driving normally, right? Out of nowhere, I heard a big bang. Bang, and then I just swerved. Go left, right, I'm holding the wheel, trying to keep swerving. And then I finally get to the mailboxes. I pass the street that was right here, and then there's the mailboxes at a different person's house. I hit the mailboxes. I swerved to the left again, and I try to control again. And then at some point, I just braked, and I was able to go to the side of the road. And I saw a few people come back behind me. There was a truck with 2 gentlemen. They told me that I hit something big.
Don't tell me what they told you.
Okay.
Did you get out of the car?
Yes.
Did you get out of the car?
I got out
assume you got out of the car.
After the incident, I got out the car, and I saw the defendant.
Could you, just a second. So what you're saying is that the dog hit the side of your car, or did you run over the dog?
So it hit the right side of the car because on the pictures, you could actually see where the impact was. So
I'd like to see the picture,
okay.
please.
It's right here. Right here, you could see. Right here was the impact.
Okay. This is a residential area,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Do you have a photograph of where it says in this residential area it's a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit?
I do not, but on the report it says.
The report says it's a 55
Yeah.
speed limit.
Mhm.
Okay.
Would you like to see that?
I would. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, could you go to summary, please? I'd like to see the summary. Thank you. Okay, is there any other part of that report?
Yes, there is one more page.
I'd like to see it. Did you speak to the police that day, Miss Migliori?
I did. He wasn't very nice.
I didn't ask you. Just a second. Just answer my question. Did you
Yes,
speak
I
to the
did.
police? The answer is yes.
Yes.
When you spoke to the police, was the dog's body still in the road?
No, the dog's body was never in the road. The dog's body was wrapped around a pole and in the barbed wire fence.
Just a second. The dog's body, show me so that I understand where you say the dog's body was.
Her body was wrapped around this pole, and her whole chest was, her head was this way, pointing towards the road.
No.
And then the back of her body was.
I know that that's what you're telling me. Whose barbed wire fence is that?
That is my Nana's.
That's where you were staying?
Yes.
And is what you're saying his car came through there?
Well, because, okay, she's
Not a well. Is what you're saying
Yes.
that the car came through that fence? So now I would like to see a picture of the downed fence. The downed
Well,
fence.
the fence wasn't down.
Well, the fence had to be downed if he crashed through the fence.
Well,
his car didn't fit in between the slats.
Right.
So the fence had to be down. That's what you wrote here, that he came through.
Right.
He came through the
Right.
fence. So if you're telling me that the fence didn't come down, that means that the car didn't go through the slats of that fence, because you would have taken a picture of the down fence.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Can you show me a picture when you finally got out, Mr. Rodriguez, because now she's playing with me. When you finally got out of your car, you went back to where the dog was?
I did, yes.
And where was the dog?
So the defendant's family came running to me after the...
No. Where was the dog?
The dog was with the defendant.
With the defendant?
Yes.
So when you hit the dog didn't die immediately?
I believe it died immediately because I was going 55.
Okay. So when you say the dog was with the defendant, where was the defendant and the dog?
Defendant was with the dog after the incident.
Where physically?
Oh, where?
In a yard, in a street?
Oh, it was right at the side of the road. I saw the fence right there, but I did not hit any fence or nothing. I didn't...
No, a fence didn't go down. That was a lot of baloney. And your car didn't go through the fence because it would have to be a very, very, very thin car. And it was not a very thin car. So she was sitting at the fence on the other side, on the street side of the fence with the dog?
Yeah, I think she was sitting with her dog after the incident happened. And she seemed really sad.
Upset?
Upset, yeah.
Well, understandably.
I understand, yeah.
Okay, now, can I see, please, estimates for the damage to your car?
Yes, I have the receipts right here, actually. I believe there's 2 pages.
And you had the car?
Yeah, we had the car fixed already.
How much was it to fix the car?
The grand total was...
This is $2011?
Yes.
You have insurance?
Yes, now I do, yes.
Did you have then?
So,
So the answer is either yes or no.
No.
You neither had collision nor liability?
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
In what month and year did your insurance lapse?
On July.
What were you doing driving it without insurance?
The insurance.
Don't give me baloney that you didn't get notified. I don't believe it.
And later today,
Believe it or not, even with these relatively short legs, my father thought I could be a ballerina at one point in my life. When I stopped growing, he was quickly disabused of that notion.
closed captioning is provided by Kevin Rodriguez says Lacey Migliore is responsible for damage to his car after he struck and killed her unleashed dog.
Okay, how long have you had this 2011 Acura?
I want to say more than 8 years, 7, 8 years.
And in what month and year did your insurance lapse?
On July. Insurance.
Don't give me baloney that you didn't get notified. I don't believe it.
Well, to be honest, I didn't really know. I had took the car. I just wanted to go to hang out with a friend, you know.
What do you mean you didn't know? It's your car. Is the car in your name?
The car is under
the
my
car in
aunt's
your
name.
name?
Under my aunt's name. Yeah.
Gets better all the time. Okay, your case is dismissed, Mr. Rodriguez. You don't come to court and ask for a court's help when you don't have clean hands. Clean hands. Otherwise, she would have paid for the damage to your car because it was her responsibility, actually, to take care of her dog and make sure that her dog didn't cause any injury. That was her responsibility. But it is the height of what we say in French, chutzpah, to come to court and ask a court to help you when you've been doing the wrong thing for at least 2 months, driving a car without insurance. If you hit somebody and kill them, they would have nobody to sue. You would say, it's not even my car, it's my aunt's car. Goodbye, Mr. Rodriguez. Get insurance. Goodbye, thank you very much. You're very lucky, Ms.
Thank you.
Migliore.
This case is concluded.
Thank
Parties
you.
are excused.
Dog out of nowhere. Swerve. Scared out of my mind.
I feel like he swerved into my dog because he wasn't paying attention.
I will pay more attention.
You're gonna pay me, right?
I now have insurance, so
If I ever get another dog, and make sure that she's on a leash.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ely versus Ladd step forward.
Dance teacher Amber Ely is suing the mother of a former student, Jennifer Ladd, for unpaid tuition and recital fees.
Miss Ely, you have a dancing school. Miss Ladd's daughter was a student of yours, and it is your claim that Miss Ladd owes you for several months of schooling that you gave to her daughter, and also for some costumes in a recital that they did. Miss Ladd says, I don't know what she says. I'm not exactly sure. When did your daughter enroll in Miss Eli's school?
3 years ago.
And what is the cost per month or per year?
It varies. It's $60 a month.
Okay, is that what you were paying 3 years ago?
Yes.
When did your daughter leave the school?
June 29th.
And she goes once
Once
a week?
Yes.
I know a little bit about dancing school and recitals and stuff, even from my own growing up days, because believe it or not, even with these relatively short legs, my father thought I could be a ballerina at one point in my life. When I stopped growing, he was quickly disabused of that notion. Miss Nottage's dancing school, so I'm aware of the way dancing schools work.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
All she had to do is bring the debit card, register.
Well, she tried to. She gave her the debit card.
Sit. She knows how to speak English as her primary language.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dance teacher Amber Ely says the mother of a former student, Jennifer Ladd, owes for unpaid tuition and recital fees.
Now, I know a little bit about dancing school and recitals. You sort of work all year, and at some point the kids put on a recital and they get nice costumes and everybody comes and takes pictures. Now they take them with iPhones. They used to take them with huge cameras. You have to sit through what is boring for most people, except when their child is on stage or their grandchild is on stage, being a tomato or a fairy or a moon or a sun or whatever it is. I also know that you pay additionally for those costumes and sometimes for the tickets or whatever. It's a way of the school making additional money. Was your daughter in a recital in the first year that she was there?
Yes, she was.
And did you buy a costume?
Yes.
And was she in a recital the second year, third year she was there?
Yes.
Did you buy her costume?
Yes.
Did you pay for it?
No.
It's going to be much easier this way. So you didn't pay for the costume the third year, because that's part of her lawsuit. And your daughter did use the costume. Do you know how much she charged for the costume?
The total bill that month was $400.
How much was the costume?
The costumes were $210. She wore 3 of them.
Okay, so that's $210, and they were not paid for.
No.
Got it. She says they were not paid for. And what month's tuition of $60 do you claim she did not pay?
It's actually $65 a month. And she owes a registration fee. She paid the registration fee. She came in November.
Just answer my question, please.
April,
What
May,
months?
June. April, May, and June.
Was she in class April, May, and June?
Yes.
When was the recital?
June 29th.
And she participated in that?
Absolutely.
Why didn't you pay April, May, and June off for the costumes?
I gave her my debit card, and she said I was all set when I was in the dance studio when I paid my bill. 2 months later, she called me back and said my credit card machine...
Miss Ladd,
Sorry.
before you get yourself really in a pickle,
Right.
did you pay her?
Yes.
Pay her?
Yes.
For April, May, and June?
Yes.
Show me your debit card where either $60 or $65 was taken out, April, May, and June, and then we resolve it. Then you only owe her the $210 for the costume. Just show me your debit card.
Well...
Not a well. That's a very easy thing to show.
I paid cash.
No, you said you gave her your debit card.
That was for the big bill that she told me I owed.
So the answer is you don't have proof that you paid her for April, May, and June. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Great.
I have a receipt
Fine.
here for...
Do you have a receipt for April, May, and June?
No, sorry, this was for July.
Can I say something?
Who are you?
I'm her friend. I've taken her daughter back and forth to the dance, and...
Listen to me. Stand up. This is why you can't say anything.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by Real Cases, Real People. Judge Judy. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Listen to me. She's already admitted that she knows she's supposed to pay for the costumes. She's paid for the costumes before, and her daughter used the costumes. That's $210. Plaintiff says despite the fact that she was in the school for 3 years, she says only that she didn't pay for April, May, and June. Very easy. You don't know what she signed in her answer. I have it right here.
Well, I mean...
Listen to me carefully. All she had to do is bring the debit card, register, that indicates April, May, and June paid. Either $60 or $65 a month.
Well, she tried to. She gave her the debit card.
Sit. She knows how to speak. English is her primary language. You owe her $405.
Yes.
That's $210 for the costume,
Yes.
and the balance is for April, May, and June.
Yes.
Your daughter no longer goes to the school?
No.
Good. Thanks. Bye.
Excuse me, step out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
This is a lecture, and I don't want you to interrupt me.
I get mad because...
What part of don't interrupt me don't you understand? You are not going to overtalk me, ever.
Judge Judy.
I thought it was very poor, which is, I'm just going to kind of wash it as of now.
A lot of miscommunication in the dance studio for the 3 years. Not with just me, with a lot of other moms as well.
I have parents that take it out on me because they can't pay their bills, which is part of being a business owner.
She lost all of her clients. She lost all of her students.
I didn't lose any students.
She wasn't learning anything.
I did enjoy Bella as a student, but she wasn't consistent. She wasn't in every week like the other children.
When you go and you have your child in a dance class, you expect them to learn something. After 3 years, nothing was taught.
I did hire a teacher to teach her daughter in the back of the room so she would be ready for the recital after missing a few months. I usually don't do that, so she should be thanking me instead of upset that she owes me money.
She'll dance somewhere else.
A wife finally had enough.
Does your husband have a lawyer in the divorce?
He don't even know I'm filing for the divorce. I haven't spoken with him since I left.
But her mother-in-law
You were living with your son and his wife?
Yes.
stands behind her son.
Your Honor, she's not filing for a divorce. She haven't filed for the divorce, and she's not.
I will, as soon as I get home. I left the house due to domestic violence.
This is suing her estranged mother-in-law, Regina Marzette, for the value of a Samsung tablet and unauthorized charges made on a joint bank account.
Judges case number 99 on the calendar in the matter of Zeno versus Marzette. Parties have been sworn in.
Miss Zeno, you are still currently married to the defendant's son.
Yes,
When were you married?
2007.
When did you and the defendant's son separate?
About 2 years ago.
Did you move out or did he move out?
I left the house due to domestic violence.
It's your claim that you left behind a tablet, a
Okay.
Samsung tablet, and that the defendant at one point said she didn't have it, but then she did in fact have it and used it once, according to you. Where is the tablet now?
She has it.
Did you find her tablet?
I had seen it. She had left the tablet there. I never used it or have it. And she came back to the house 3 or 4 times.
Where is it?
I believe it got stolen. My son had left it outside on the gate to go in the apartment, and he came back. The bag was gone.
Was he living with you?
I was living with them.
Okay. She doesn't have your tablet.
I never used it.
From 2 years ago. Now, you have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim is money owed for credit card charges.
Yes.
I assume these credit card charges were made prior to 2018, were made when...
Yes. We had it was around 2016. I let her start using it, put on the authorized user, and we had agreement. As long as she paid, I didn't care what she used it for or whatever. As long as she made monthly payments on it. And May of this year, she stopped making payment. Then she made 2 more payments though. She stopped because I used it. We also had a bank account together, Wells Fargo, and I accidentally used it for charged my DMV $35, and so she closed the account, and I didn't know until I tried to use it, and then I texted her saying the account is closed. She said, yeah, I closed it because you made $35 charge on it and went over her account.
We're not getting involved in this.
Okay, that's when she stopped, and then she
fiasco that happened in 2018.
But she was making payments up to this year, and then I'm telling you the reason why she stopped it first. Because I used the card that she was making the payment up for with the credit card payment with, and the account went over, and she closed the account. And then,
Do you have a lawyer in your divorce?
No.
Does your husband have a lawyer in the divorce?
No, I'm the one that's filing for the divorce. I have to turn in my paperwork. He don't even know I'm filing for the divorce.
Okay.
I haven't spoken with him since I left.
Okay. Does your husband work?
I'm not sure. I don't communicate with him anymore.
Your mother-in-law says that you had a card prior to 2018. What was that credit card used for?
The card was used for her son charges. I also made charges on the card. I used it for my guard card, which I believe is paid off. Like she said, I've been paying it since the card been on there, but our card got towed a few times. Security guard card license.
Okay, and how much was that for the guard license?
I want to say about $800.
And you've been making payments since 2018 of how much a month on the card?
$150.
Do you have the credit card receipts or the bills that show how much she was making payments on? I'd like to take a look at them.
I'd like to show you this. This when I stop her from using it, showing the balance. When I stop her from authorized to use it because when it went over $5,000.
Who else is an authorized user on that card?
No one else. I didn't even use it, Your Honor. I make no charges on it.
Prior to 2018?
I have never used that card myself.
Not you.
No one else, Your Honor, used the card. Not even me.
Do you have a card?
I have other cards. That's why I only set that aside for her to use, for I wouldn't have no disagreement with the charges.
Tell me what you used the card for before 2018.
All I can remember is using it for is my guard card and to get the car. We had these, she said, for emergencies, and we used it to get it towed out, but I continue to make the payments. That's why I don't understand why she's saying that it went over $5,000. Last time I seen it was at $4,800, and that was years ago.
Your Honor,
I don't understand. I never seen the statement, so I have no clue what's on there. I don't know who used the card.
I have statements she used it for her car insurance monthly.
Just a second. On September 17th, did you pay a Progressive Insurance bill?
No, all my car insurance bills was paid on my bank account.
I don't have Progressive, Your Honor. This is all her charges and the wireless phone.
What year did you say was it, ma'am?
September 17th.
2008. This 2000.
Did you pay?
In 2018?
Yes, it was 2000.
No, in 2020.
No, this is 2018 right here. This one she was still...
Listen to me. This is a marital debt. These bills were accrued prior to the time that your son and
But our agreement was... I had agreement with her. As long as she pay on it, it's like...
What I'm telling you, it is a marital debt. Some judge, when she files for divorce, is going to determine whether this credit card...
Your Honor, she's not filing for a divorce. She haven't filed for the divorce, and she's not.
I have the paperwork at home.
She's not.
Well, I think that you should do that.
I will.
Calling her counterclaim without prejudice. You have to file for a divorce so a judge can determine how much of this bill is a marital debt and whether your husband, her son, is responsible for any part of that bill. Like if a car was towed and it was his responsibility, but it was paid for on this card. I don't know, and I have absolutely zero interest in finding out, because when you file for divorce, one of the things that a judge will do is look at the equities of the parties and what they have and say this car payment, this bank account, this credit card bill, this is either marital property or individual property. And if those charges were made prior to 2018, some judge in a matrimonial part is going to determine that they're marital property, marital debt, which means that your son may be responsible for some, all, or none of that debt. Do you understand? Okay.
Yes, but...
Well, I understand. And I'm the only one who has to understand. Goodbye, good luck, have a happy life.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
To build up her credit.
She wanted to help me build my credit.
She didn't have credit at the time.
I wasn't the only one to make the charges on the card.
I still love her, but she went on with her life, so I let her be.
It's time to file them divorce papers.
All parties in the matter of Lyons versus Munoz.
Is suing his former landlord, Inez Munoz, and her daughter, Roxana Munoz, for wrongful eviction, the return of his security deposit, and damaged property.
Mr. Lyons, you were a tenant of the defendants for 3 years.
Yes.
And you had a security deposit of $1,400.
Yes.
With the defendant. Your complaint seeks the return of the entire security deposit. She already sent you $500. She retained $900 of the security deposit.
Yes.
In addition, you're asking for other money for a whole lot of nonsense. Damaged property as a result of a pipe burst in February of 2020. You didn't move out until July. I assume the damaged property that you're referring to is the damaged property as a result of the pipe bursting.
No.
What damaged property as a result of what?
The roof leaking. There was heavy rainfall at the end of 2019, beginning of this year, that ruined our furniture, causing mold in the house. There was water throughout the house, damaging the furnace.
Okay, I get Mr. Lyons, understand this, sir. You're a renter. If there's a leak or a burst pipe and your stuff is damaged, that's what renter's insurance is for. That's what homeowner's insurance is for. Yeah. That's not what this nonsense. You want the return of your security deposit. You also put in a claim here for wrongful eviction. But I read your complaint, and I read in your complaint that you gave her a 30-day notice on July 21st.
Yes.
You gave her notice. She didn't evict you. You gave her notice that you were moving out. Where did you move to?
Long Beach.
Who did you move in with?
My witness.
Good. And had you been planning on making that move? Is that why you gave her a notice on July 21st?
Yes.
That you were moving in with a new roommate? Yes, so she didn't evict you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Is that all your junk out there? Sir.
The property damage,
yes. Is that
yes.
all your junk out there?
Yes.
That's not property damage stuff. That's stuff you didn't want. There's a broom there. That's ridiculous.
Phillips Lyons Jr. is suing his former landlord, Inez Munoz, and her daughter, Roxana Munoz, for wrongful eviction, the return of his security deposit, and damaged property.
Okay, now let's talk about the return of the security deposit. Then the burden's on her. You had $1,400 of his security deposit. You returned $5. It's your responsibility to show me photographs of what.
Okay, $200 for the trash that was left in the curb. I have pictures.
Oh, so you have pictures and a bill or a receipt
Yes.
for who you paid to get rid of it.
Yes.
Good. I'd like to see the photographs and the bill.
Is that okay? The next one?
Yes, well, that's not $200 worth of trash.
There. Yes.
Is that all your junk out there? Sir,
The property damage,
is
yes.
that all your junk out there?
Yes.
That's not property damage stuff. That's stuff you didn't want. There's a broom there. That's ridiculous. Okay, so $200. Can I see the bill for removing all that trash?
There's going to be 2 bills, okay, for the cleaning.
Yes, I'd like to see them both. That says cleanup.
Yeah, it's $200 for the cleaning the curb and $200 to clean the apartment.
Okay, so $200 for cleaning the curb.
Yes.
Now, I didn't see pictures of inside the apartment. What are you alleging was wrong inside the apartment? So you do understand you owe her. She rightfully withheld $200 so far for cleaning up the trash that you left outside.
I don't
Well,
agree
I'm telling
to that.
you do. I don't care whether you agree to it or not. What is that?
Okay, these are the boxes, the refrigerator boxes where you keep your vegetables. That's one of them. Fungus.
Okay, what else?
This is the kitchen counter.
Well, I don't know what is on there.
What
What are you showing me?
They're stains.
The stains, I don't know if you can see, it's a yellow, very deep yellow.
Very sticky, but lack of cleaning.
What else?
This is the drawer in the bathroom.
What color is it? Is it
This
white?
one is, the shelf is black, but this is a white stuff.
Stains. There's stains on the black.
What else? Did you take pictures, Mr. Lyons, of when you left the house?
Yes.
Did you take photographs? May I see them, please? Don't show me anymore. What is that?
Those are the pictures of the mold and whatnot growing in the bedroom.
No, I just want,
stuff like that.
I want to see, sir. Is this how you left the apartment? I just want to see if you left it clean. Is what I'm not looking at your mold. I'm finished with your mold. Get homeowner's insurance.
Okay.
Looks like he left the inside pretty clean.
And that's one.
Go ahead. Keep going. Is that when you left, sir?
Yes.
Go ahead. What are you showing me?
Of the kitchen cabinets.
Out?
Mm-hmm. They were clean. There wasn't anything in them. That's the bathroom.
Okay. Got it. All right, Mr. Lyons, I don't have to see anymore. Okay. When Mr. Lyons left, he left in, did you leave in August, sir?
August 1st.
You left August 1st. When did you re-rent the apartment?
September 3rd. September 3rd. It took me a month to clean.
No, it didn't take you a month to clean.
No, not to
You
clean.
have to clean. He
repair.
was living there for, no. Sorry.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen to me, sir. She didn't wrongfully evict you. You gave her notice. You had a kerfuffle about the date because you were sleeping. You don't get up until 2 o'clock. Then she called you. She wanted her rent. I'm not interested.
And later today,
You say I abandoned them. I was just miserable with humiliation, so I left them there.
Well, who would want those things back after she had been with some other guy and
I
on
don't
those
know.
things?
Maybe I wouldn't, but maybe Bird would.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Phillips Lyons Jr. is suing his former landlord, Inez Munoz, and her daughter, Roxana Munoz, for wrongful eviction, the return of his security deposit, and damaged property.
Okay. He left August 1st, which he shouldn't have left there. That's really your job to hire somebody to take away all your garbage.
I did. She had told me that when she took those pictures and stuff of the place in the trash, she's like, these needs to be cleaned up. And she's like, you need to come back after she had wrongfully evicted us. And I had told
She
her, I
didn't
was
wrongfully
like,
evict you.
well, the agreement was for us to be out on the 21st. And on the
I don't, listen to me, sir. She didn't wrongfully evict you. You gave her notice. You had a kerfuffle about the date because you were sleeping. You don't get up until 2 o'clock, according to you, to go to work. And she called you. She wanted her rent. I'm not interested.
I have a proof.
I just asked you about the trash that you left behind. I'm just asking you, are you telling me that you paid to have it taken away?
Yes, I had it arranged. I had the city to come on that same week to come get it. And Roxanne knows about this because I had told her, said, okay. And then she's like, no, I'm not waiting that long. And then she got it taken care of herself.
Yeah,
and I
I
had
don't
let her
blame-
know via text.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her. So far, you're entitled to your $700 back of the $900. She paid $200 to have somebody clean up that junk that you left outside. The apartment looked pretty clean to me. And if you were lucky enough to have the apartment vacant only for 1 month, and Mr. Lyons was living there for 3 years, you have to paint the place anyway. You have to get it into shape. You can't. Ridiculous. Okay, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $700. We're finished.
Your Honor?
Thank you.
Your Honor?
We are finito.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
Got sick because of the mold.
The way it was delivered to them and the way it was delivered back.
We told her about it, and she told us to clean it ourselves.
Not to be nice anymore.
Not to be so nice. They always paid late.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lauder versus Draper, step forward.
Amy Lauder is suing her ex-boyfriend, Chris Draper, for an unpaid loan to get his truck fixed.
Miss Lauder, you claim that the defendant owes you for the balance of a loan to repair his truck.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me about that.
Back in July, at the end of July, his truck broke down and he needed to...
That would be July of 2012.
Yes. He needed money to repair it and he didn't have money. So he asked me to loan him $900 so he could fix his truck. And he promised...
And why would he ask you to make a loan to him?
He knew that I'd gotten money. My mom passed away back in 2011 and she left me some money. And so he asked me if he could borrow that money.
Were you dating at the time?
At the time I loaned him the money, we were not dating.
When had you stopped dating?
We'd broken up at the beginning of July of 2012.
On what date did you ask her for this money?
I'd never asked her for the
Are
money.
your hands in your pockets?
Yeah. She offered...
Unless they know that you need money. Listen to me, I want you to follow. If I called Bird and we're talking and I say, you know, I have this truck that needs repair and I don't have any money, and Bird says to me, oh, I can help you out with that. That's understandable. But somehow it has to be communicated to Bird that my truck broke down.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by... Have you been cheated? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Now, did you receive a call from the truck company?
No, ma'am.
So you received a call from the truck company at your house?
No, I was at her house when it was on my cell phone.
So you were at her house when you got a call and you say, bring, hello, right, got it.
I said, oh no, what am I going to do? I need some money. She's like, I'll give you money.
Oh, great.
Because I got money from...
How much does he owe you? That sounds so ridiculous.
I borrowed him $900.
No, you didn't borrow him
Loaned
anything.
him $900, and he paid me back $100.
Okay, good. Now we have a counterclaim, so that takes care of the $800 that you owe her. Now you have a counterclaim, and you said, I purchased a washing machine and kept these items with me because I just left the house. So?
So we had broken up.
Just a second, you said you left, and you said, I didn't take these items with me because I just left the house we shared after humiliation I endured when I found out that she had been cheating on me for almost a year. So what are you countersuing for?
For the things that I left at her house.
You say, I abandoned them. That's what you're saying in here. I left them there because I was just miserable with humiliation, so I left them there a year ago.
Well, who would want those things back after she had been with some other guy? And
I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't, but maybe Bird would. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $800. Your counterclaim's dismissed. Goodbye.
You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy. Made to move in the middle of the virus.
I didn't evict anyone. I put a pay or vacate, which is different from eviction.
I don't think that you can do that.
Next Judge Judy.
That's fine. I'm good with what she said.
I think it was fair, and I'm happy it's over with.
We both work at the IRS, and, you know, we got to be professional, and so this isn't professional at all.
I don't talk to him, I don't see him, so it's not anybody.
Who signed the contract with her to book the date?
My ex-husband and I both did.
Divorce kills a catered party.
You are not a signatory to the contract.
I did sign that contract.
Now this ex craves a refund.
It was only signed by your husband.
I don't have the complete contract.
Because it wasn't your contract.
There's a little bit of a story here.
I know you want to make it a story. This is a contract.
This is Judge Judy. Toby Petrocelli is suing caterer Nancy Veretti for the return of catering fees for a party that never happened.
Judge's case number 106 on the calendar in the matter of Petrocelli versus Veretti. Both parties have been sworn in.
Thank you, Bird. Ms. Petrocelli, I've read your complaint, and so this is a case involving a written contract.
Correct.
And the contract was for the defendant to cater an event that you were planning. You contacted her, according to your complaint, sometime in July of 2019, and your event was to take place in December.
Correct.
You didn't state what kind of an event this was.
It's a celebration for birthdays, retirement, and anniversary. It was a combination of events.
Okay. For the same people?
Correct.
Was it to take place at a hall or at your home?
It was to take place at a hall, at a club.
How were you referred to the defendant?
At the time, my husband had procured her information.
You got the information from your husband?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And who signed the contract with her to book the date?
We both did. My ex-husband and I both did. Correct.
On what date did you sign the contract?
We signed the contract on July 10th.
And the event was supposed to take place, according to what I've read, on December the 6th.
Correct.
And according to what I've read, you gave her an initial deposit on signing of the contract of $1,500.
That is correct.
With payments to be made periodically. Just a second, I'll get to you in a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
With payments to be made periodically until December 6th.
Correct.
On what date and in what amount was the next payment due?
So there's a little bit of a story here.
No, there's no story. This is a contract. I know you want to make it a story. This is a contract.
Okay.
You signed the contract on July 10th.
Correct.
2020. You gave her a $1,500 deposit.
18th.
July 18th.
And it's signed by Mr. Petrocelli.
Put up your copy of the contract. Put up your
Mine?
copy of the contract. Yeah,
I'm sorry, I
yours.
thought you were talking to Nancy. I apologize.
I got hers, and it says that your former husband signed it on July 18th, and I'd like to see the copy that you have.
Okay.
Because you say we both signed it.
I apologize. I think I only have the one that he signed. I don't have the one that has my signature on that. I will look for that.
Well, you have to have that. And it was signed on the 18th.
We made the deposit to her on the 10th.
Listen to me. The date of the contract is the 18th, and it was only signed by your husband.
Okay.
Now, we'll nuance this in a second, but my next question would be, if your name was on that contract, on what date was the next payment due? Because that's how these events work. You make an initial deposit, and then you make periodic payments in order to secure the date. Now, on what date, pursuant to this contract that only your husband signed, on what date was the next payment due?
The next payment was made on...
No, I didn't ask you. No. Listen to me carefully.
I'm listening.
On what date was the... Tell me what date, pursuant to the contract, was the payment due?
I don't have the complete contract. Therefore, I do not know that exact date.
Well, then that's part of your problem because it wasn't your contract. On what date was the next payment due, Ms. Faharty?
This is an estimate invoice and supports the contract, and it's something that
No, listen to me.
Right here.
I asked you a very simple question. I said, on what date was the next payment due?
August 6th.
Contractually, on or before August 6th, the person who signed that contract had to give you what amount of money on August 6th?
$3,500.
And when was the next payment due?
On November 6th.
And in what amount was that payment?
$3,500.
Now we're going to get to your story. So you made a $1,500. Let's say you were the person who did this contract. Then we'll get to the divorce later and whether or not this was the subject of the divorce proceeding. We'll see. I assume you have that information. On August 6th, you were to make a $3,500 additional deposit. Now, you in that contract, it says the date that you're allowed to cancel. How many days prior to the event, and what were the penalties for cancellation pursuant to the contract, Ms. Fajarty?
It states no refunds 90 days before the date of the event, and they canceled December 19th, which is approximately 45 days.
I asked you a simple question. I don't want you to volunteer anything.
Okay.
It was a simple question, and then you'll put it up with a line. On what date did the contract provide they could cancel without forfeiting the money that had been paid so far? On what date? Was it 30 days, 60 days, 90 days?
90 days.
In the contract.
In the contract.
Let me see.
Okay. So
90 days.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Okay. Contract, no refunds will be given all days prior to event's original date.
Okay. And that's the contract. That's the refund policy.
Mm-hmm.
On what date did you cancel?
I canceled on Friday, October 16th, when we came back from being out of the country.
Okay. Well, that's less than 90 days. However, you made according to you, or your husband sent $8,000.
I did.
Only $3,500 is forfeited because that was paid on August 6th. The other payment wasn't due until November 6th of 2020, Ms. Fajarty. And if she canceled in October, the other payment really wasn't due that she sent you. Am I reading that correctly?
Yes, you're reading correctly. However, there was a change in the terms of the contract based on a request for a discount on the event.
No, show me that in writing. Show me
that.
that in writing.
Right here.
Show me that in writing.
I say, hi, Toby. Refigure costs for pay in full discount for review. I figured costs to reflect what the savings would be for a pay in full discount. I showed the discount above the sales tax line, reducing the sales tax savings too. No credit card fees for check or cash. Did review foods for discount and amounts. Take a look. I'm available to review by phone or stop by today or tomorrow. On the new estimate dated 8/5
show me where she agreed to those terms.
When she paid the check, because here's the new estimate here. Estimate invoice has to be.
Listen to me, Miss Fajarty. Yes. She's not getting anything because she has no standing. She is not a signatory to the contract. She has no standing. Do you understand that, Ms. Petrocelli?
Yes.
You are not a signatory to the contract.
I did sign that contract, so I'm trying. I will locate that for you.
Listen, this is the time that we have all evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And you came to court. You knew you were coming to court. It's been my experience of over 50 years that when there is a contract, and its contract looks like the contract she just showed to me, there are two lines, one for your name and one for your husband's name. Now, did you have an attorney during your divorce proceedings?
Yes, I did.
Did your husband have an attorney?
Yes, he did.
Was this listed as a potential marital asset?
No, it was not.
Well, that's too bad, because if anybody is owed any money, the person who signed the contract may be owed some money. But for two smart people, when you were divorced, you certainly didn't take care of it. You have no claim to this money, Ms. Petrocelli, or any part of it.
The contract is written out in both of our names?
It may be, but you didn't sign it.
Okay.
Maybe, but you didn't sign it. And you had dealings with her. Your husband may have benefited from that, but you can't modify a contract with her that only he signed. And if the two of you, if you would pay all cash, so it wouldn't go through a credit card because they charge points.
Correct.
And you did, in fact, do that, and you canceled before the 90 days, then you're not entitled to any money. Then your husband wouldn't be entitled to any money. Certainly you're not entitled to it because you're not a signatory to the contract. Anyway, we're done. Thank you very much. Your case is dismissed.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
One would think that as a business owner, she would do the right thing, but it is what it is.
As a small business person, it's been very, very important to stick to our policies and our rules.
When I contacted her initially, she was very upset that we were going to have to cancel.
They're wonderful people. This was a joyous occasion, and we were all just devastated.
Said she'd get the money to me and then just kept stalling. So this is why we ended up here.
Boy, if she wants a party, she's still got one with me.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bennett versus Robinson. Step forward.
Giselle Bennett is suing her neighbor, Shannon Robinson, for crashing his car into a retaining wall on her property.
Miss Bennett, you're sleeping.
Yes.
It's August 18th.
Yes.
2012.
Yes.
And you hear a commotion.
Yes.
Wakes you up.
Yeah.
Turns out this commotion is a result of the defendant's garden and the wall of your garden.
Right.
And you want the defendant to pay for the damage.
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Oh, Mr. Robinson, what am I going to do with you, sir? Let me just refresh your recollection as to what you swore to in your answer.
Giselle Bennett claims her neighbor, Shannon Robinson, crashed his car into a retaining wall on her property. Shannon says he has no idea what happened.
So, what kind of car do we have?
96 Chevrolet Caprice.
And on August 18th, where were you and where was your car?
Well, from my knowledge, the last time I remember my car being in my driveway, parked on a...
Just a second. The last you remember your car, Mr. Robinson, it was on your driveway.
Yes.
And that was when?
August 18th, 17th, the day prior to the incident.
So I want to understand this. You had parked your car on your driveway the night before this happened, and that's the last you knew of it.
Yes.
Oh, Mr. Robinson, what am I going to do with you, sir? But you swore to in your answer. You said, I did park my car in front of plaintiff's home on the evening of August 18th because I was having people over and wanted my guests to park in my driveway. You remember writing that?
Yes.
Well, that's a little different from what you just told me. See, what you just told me, which I repeated to you twice, was that your car was in your driveway, where you parked it. You're the registered owner of that car, correct?
Yes, I am.
And in what city and state do you reside?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Now, Georgia is one of those states that require cars to have insurance.
Yes.
Not necessarily collision insurance, but it requires you to have liability insurance in case you do damage to someone else's property or person.
Yes.
So if your car, I don't care who's driving the car, if your car causes damage to the plaintiff's property, because you don't deny that her property was damaged.
Yes.
You deny you're responsible.
Exactly.
So if your car was insured, the insurance would have paid for the damage to her property.
Yes.
But your car was not
insured.
Yeah. And according to you, in either version of the story in your answer, you drove the car. Because the story you told me before, you drove the car and parked it in your driveway. The story that you wrote to me in the answer was you drove the car and parked it in front of her house because you wanted your guests to be able to park in your driveway. Either way, you drove an uninsured car. Why did you do that?
I mean, Your Honor, I know it's silly and basically against the law, but I just moved it because we're neighbors.
I know your neighbors.
We're neighbors. I moved it a couple of feet.
You turned it on, right? You turned it on.
Yes.
Now I want you to think very carefully. Now that we know that one of these versions maybe is true, was the car parked in front of her house or in your driveway?
In front of her house on the street, yes.
And you did that because?
So that I have room for my guests to park and be able to get out when they left my house.
When you parked the car in front of her house, did you leave the keys in the car?
No, ma'am.
Now, the car ended up not in front of her house.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He knows he has to pay for it. He wouldn't even argue with me that he doesn't have to pay for it. Isn't that right, Mr. Robinson?
I feel like I don't have to pay for it because I...
Oh, you don't want to go there, Mr. Robinson?
Real cases, real people. Her neighbor, Shannon Robinson, crashed his car into a retaining wall on her property. Shannon says he has no idea what happened.
Now, can I see pictures of where the car ended up? You could see from there, right?
Yes.
Did you see who got out of the car?
No, ma'am.
Well, that's a lot of damage, Mr. Robinson, that would have been taken care of, sir, if you had insurance. Now you're going to answer my question that I asked you a little while ago. Why didn't you have insurance?
I believe my insurance had got canceled 2 days before or the day of the party.
Why?
Non-payment.
Well, they don't cancel it without putting you on notice. So they send you a letter. The letter says if you don't pay, you're not going to have insurance.
Yes.
And you just ignore that. Now, do you work, Mr. Robinson?
As of now, I do.
No. Then. On August, listen to me very carefully. August 18th, 2012, were you working?
No, ma'am.
In whose house were you living?
My mother's.
What were you doing in August of 2012?
Looking for work.
You looking for work?
Applying online, going to a job career.
There. Got where I'm going?
Yeah.
You have an estimate to fix this damage. I think I've got Mr. Robinson. He's got me. He's not a bad guy. You know, he didn't murder anybody. He had a party. Somebody got loaded and caused damage. He has to pay for it. He knows he has to pay for it. He wouldn't even argue with me that he doesn't have to pay for it. Isn't that right, Mr. Robinson?
I feel like I don't have to pay for it because I
Oh, you don't want to go there, Mr. Robinson? You don't want to go there, sir? I just explained to you that if you had a car that had insurance, your insurance company would have paid for it because it would have been your responsibility.
But then that'd be a case of me not having insurance. We're dealing with the car being in her yard.
You think it flew into her yard?
I didn't do it, man.
It flew?
I didn't do it. When I woke up, on my knowledge of...
You don't have to do it. You're responsible for it. It's your car.
So if somebody crashed my car, I'm responsible to pay for that?
Absolutely. That's what you have insurance for.
Yeah, I have a letter from his insurance company that said his policy was canceled on July 22nd.
Well, that's not the day before.
I got that letter. I got that letter 2 days before saying that my insurance...
Oh, well, maybe you were too busy to open your mail.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by... Have you been cheated? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Do you have an estimate or a bill to fix the damage? You did fix it, did you not?
Yes.
Okay.
One of those pictures shows it being fixed. These are the estimates that I got. One was
Well, how much did it cost you to have it fixed?
$350.
That's a bargain. My goodness, Mr. Robinson, you should go over and give her a big hug and a kiss. She got the best possible price for you, $350. Why didn't you give her money for it? You working now?
Yes, I'm working now.
Yeah,
I didn't know anything about a civil suit against me until a week ago.
Well, now you know.
They moved out of the neighborhood.
Now you know.
They moved out of the neighborhood. I had no contact with them. I seen the wall was fixed, but I had no contact with them.
We still live in the neighborhood.
But not in the same house.
Yeah, we still live in the
same house.
I haven't seen them. I haven't seen them.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
$350 judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused and they step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy. An old RV needed some TLC.
The body itself has not lasted.
Nobody's body lasts. Not yours, certainly not mine.
Next, Judge Judy.
She heard all the evidence and found that he indeed was responsible for fixing my wall.
I offered